The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Chapter 2. The Gypsy Dancer. Pierre Gringoire was a poor young man who lived in Paris. He liked to write plays. Sometimes important men would pay him for his work. But today, his play had been called off. Today, Gringoire didn't get any money. Gringoire couldn't go home because he couldn't pay for his room. He walked along a street until he came to a park. The park was full of people. The people were all watching a girl dance. The girl had long black hair. Her big black eyes flashed. Her dress was many different colors. As she danced, she shook a little drum which had bells on it. The girl was a gypsy. Her name was Esmeralda. Gringoire smiled. He thought Esmeralda was beautiful. He didn't know if he was looking at a pretty girl or a lovely fairy. Another man watched Esmeralda too. He was dressed all in black, but this man was not smiling. He did not look happy like the others around him. Esmeralda turned around and around. Then she stopped dancing. "Come here, Jolly," Esmeralda called. A little white goat came running to her. Its horns were painted gold. "Now it's your turn, Jolly," said Esmeralda. She held out her drum. "Which month is it, Jolly?" she asked, smiling. The goat tapped the drum once with its foot. "That is right," said Esmeralda. "It's the first month of the year." Esmeralda turned the drum in a different way. Then she asked, "Jolly, which day of the month is it?" At first, the goat looked as if it were not listening. Then, to everyone's surprise, the goat tapped the drum. He tapped the drum 6 times with its foot. "Right," said Esmeralda. Then she held the drum another way. She asked her goat, "Jolly, what time is it?" The goat tapped the drum 7 times with its foot. The goat was right again. A clock showed the time to be 7 o'clock. It was getting late, but the people wanted Esmeralda to dance some more. So Esmeralda, once again, danced like a lovely fairy. She sang a song, too. Then she turned her drum over and went around to all the people. Most of them put 1 cent in her drum. Others put 2 cents. Soon, Esmeralda's drum was full of money. Most people were pleased with Esmeralda, but some were not. Some people believed gypsies were witches. The man in the black clothes thought so too. He did not like this girl, but he could not take his eyes off her. Her beauty made him feel things he had never felt before. Esmeralda danced over to where Gringoire stood. He reached into his pocket, but he had no money to give her, so Gringoire walked away. Suddenly, a shout was heard. "Go away, you gypsy witch!" Esmeralda looked around to see who had shouted. The voice seemed to be coming from a tower not far from the park. Then, another shout. "Watch your children! Gypsies love to steal children!" Esmeralda's smile turned into a troubled look. "Why do people call me a witch?" she thought. "I'm just a poor girl trying to make some money." Just then, a large parade of people marched by. It was the King of Fools parade, and Quasimodo was having a grand old time. 6 men carried him above their heads. Suddenly, Quasimodo jumped down. He went running to the man in black clothes. The man was Father Frollo. He was a priest of the church of Notre Dame, and he was like a father to Quasimodo. When Quasimodo was just a baby, he had been left in the church. No one wanted him. No one wanted to care for such an ugly baby. So Father Frollo brought him up. He took good care of Quasimodo. He showed him how to do many things, and Quasimodo was always happy to see him. It was getting very late now, and people were leaving the park. It was time for the supper. Esmeralda and her goat left too, but Gringoire had no place to go, so he followed Esmeralda. End of Chapter 2.